Hello students, welcome to yet another video of Standard 6th English, the Honeysuckle book. Today we will read about a poem which is the last poem in the third unit, and the name of the poem is The Quarrel, and it is written by Eleanor Farjeon. Now before we read the poem, let us look at some points. It is common for brothers and sisters to quarrel, although sometimes they may not even be able to say why they quarrel. I am sure you must all have, brothers and sisters at home, and for those of you who don't have, you must have friends with whom we sometimes quarrel, right? We sometimes fight, we have an argument, okay? So, and sometimes the argument becomes very serious, and sometimes again we don't even know why we are fighting. We can't understand how the fight started and how it went out of hand and why again we are fighting. So how long do such quarrels last? How do they end? Okay, have you ever quarreled with your siblings? Siblings meaning your brothers and sisters. So when a fighting starts, who starts the fight, how the fighting starts, and how much do you quarrel, and how long does the fighting extend, okay? And at the end, who makes up, who says sorry, who doesn't say sorry, all these things, these are some questions that come to our mind when we look at the word quarrel. So let us see what the poet is trying to tell us in this poem. Let us read the poem once. I quarreled with my brother, I don't know what about. One thing led to another, and somehow we fell out. The start of it was slight, the end of it was strong. He said he was right, I knew he was wrong. We hated one another, the afternoon turned black. Then suddenly my brother thumped me on the back and said, "Oh, come along, we can't go on all night." I was in the wrong, so he was in the right. Okay, so let us begin with the explanation. I quarreled with my brother, I don't know what about. One thing led to another, and somehow we fell out. So, over here, Eleanor Farjeon, the poetess, she tells us that she had an argument with her brother, she had a fight with him, and both of them did not know what they were fighting about. Okay, the cause of the fight was unknown. How it started, why did they start fighting? They don't know. She says that one thing happened after the other, and somehow they started quarreling badly. So, maybe her brother said something to her, and then she said a few more things, and then her brother added a lot more, and then it got really serious, and then they had a very ugly fight. So, that is what the poetess tells, that she had a fight with her brother. They did not know what the fight was about, and it really started very little, but then suddenly, gradually, the fight became more and more extreme, and finally they had a big fight. Okay, so fell out meaning quarrel or fighting. The start of it was slight, the end of it was strong. He said he was right, I knew he was wrong. So the poetess says that the fight was not so serious in the beginning. Okay, so the starting of the fight, it was slight meaning little or small. Okay, so it was not so serious when the fighting had started, but gradually it became intense, gradually it became extreme. Okay, very much, too much, and it took a bad turn and it became ugly. So the end of it was strong, meaning when they stopped fighting, at that moment the fight was at the highest point. They were fighting very badly. So poetess's brother said that he was right. Okay, whereas the poetess thought that she was right and her brother was wrong. So generally when we fight children, it so happens that we always feel that we are right and the other person with whom we are fighting, that person is wrong. So same thing happened with the poetess also. Poetess thought that she was right and her brother was wrong. We hated one another. The afternoon turned black. Then suddenly my brother thumped me on the back. So obviously when we fight with somebody, we don't want to see the face of that person ever again. We say that get lost, don't come near me, don't show me your face. We say all those things to each other when we fight. Same thing happened with the poetess and her brother. They started hating each other, okay, and they did not want to see each other, and that afternoon it was totally ruined by their fighting. So turned black meaning it became very unpleasant. So the mood of the afternoon, it became very very nasty. It was not very very friendly. They did not talk to each other and they had hatred for each other in their heart. So not a very nice situation. But then what happened? Suddenly my brother thumped me on the back. So thumped meaning hit. So the poetess and the brother, they fought, they quarreled, and they separated. And after some time the brother came back to the poetess and he hit her on the back and asked her to get along. Okay, so he came and he hit her on the back and said, "Oh, come along, we can't go on all night. I was in the wrong, so he was in the right." So his brother, the poetess's brother, asked her to get along as it was not the right thing to stretch the matter throughout the night. So the poetess's brother came and hit her on the back and he tried to say sorry, and he said that it is very childish of them to continue the fighting for all night, so it is better that they forget about it and make friendship again. And the brother also admitted that he was wrong, which proved that he was kind and had a big heart. So the brother, the poetess's brother, he said that he was wrong. Remember how the poetess thought that the brother was wrong and the poetess was right. So over here the brother actually admits that he was wrong, and in doing so he proves that he is a very very generous person. He has a big heart, he has a kind heart. Okay, so children, you must remember this, that when you do a mistake, you should have the courage, you should have the bravery to accept that yes, you have done a mistake. You should accept your fault and say sorry for it always. So similarly the poetess's brother had this courage. Okay, he had the strength to accept that he was wrong and he declared it to his sister, and this moved the poetess's heart. So when the brother declared that he was wrong, the poetess was really really moved. That is, she was touched. She was very happy to see that her brother admitted that he was wrong, and she realized that she was wrong. So both of them, when they were fighting, they thought that both of them were correct, but when afterwards they made friendship again, they thought, they both realized their mistakes and both of them knew that they were not correct in fighting over the matter. Whatever they were fighting over, it was not correct on both their part. Okay, so at the end both of them again forget their differences and they come back together, and that is how the quarrel comes to an end. So this is a really sweet poem and very uh, cute poem. We all face such things in our lives, and I have taken references from the Success Series website, as well as I have drawn photographs from Google Photos. So, with that, I end my discussion on this poem and I will see you in the next video. Till then, study hard and thank you.